Welcome to Subramani. Please subscribe, please hit the bell icon. I recently wrote an article for Indian Express on the senior citizen fraud, and I realized that senior citizen cheating, fraud, etc., is a global phenomena, and most of the cheating, maybe 70 to even 90% of the cheating, happens because of within the family, right? So that is huge, but it is this is also called elder fraud or scams targeting older people, and it's a growing concern. I'm sure it must be a growing concern for the country also, right? Somebody at Mr. Amit Shah level, Home Ministry should be looking at it, because it is reaching dangerous proportions, and many cases the senior citizens are even afraid of lodging a police complaint, or the scare, because I wouldn't want to go to a police station at all other than getting my passport verified. So will I go and lodge a complaint? No. And if I can't do it, I'm sure my mother will not be able to do it, my uncle will not be able to do it, my 80-year-old neighbor will not be able to do it, right? So that's the problem. So what are the causes? What are the main causes that leads to senior citizen cheating? First is vulnerability due to isolation. I can see that happening to people I know. Their children are far away, their children are not really in touch, and they don't want to ask their children for everything because the children snap at them. So they say, can't you even do this on your own? Why do you need my help to send an email? Fair enough questions, right? So if you are you have to be tech savvy. I'm jumping the gun, but yes, first is vulnerability due to isolation. Many seniors live alone or have limited access to family. They don't keep much in touch with the family if they're staying apart. If they're still living together, then it's okay. Then when any problem happens, they can turn to them. But if they're not staying with them, they're staying alone. Maybe they're staying in a senior citizen facility, or maybe maybe they are living alone and the children are abroad, or children have died, or they have no children. All these cases, the scammers can pose as friends and as helpers. They can be manipulative. It's very easy to walk up to a senior citizen, say, I will do this for you, I will do that for you, I'll withdraw money from the ATM for you. I have cases where people have withdrawn money from the ATM but not given the whole amount. They've withdrawn 5,000 rupees twice, given once, next time, and not given the other one. And they would do it occasionally, right? So over a 5-year period, somebody who has stolen about 50,000 rupees. Doesn't look like too big an amount for somebody who has 1,25,000 as a pension. So did not lodge a complaint. He said, it's okay, it's my only nephew that I have, I don't want to lodge a complaint. Then, of course, there is cognitive decline, age-related cognitive impairments such as dementia, memory loss, those are there. Then the inability to be very tech-savvy, right? So there are too many apps, you do not know which app to use, which one not to use, whether to remove the app, you don't know. And people call up and say, can you give this confirmation? I will initiate this, you will get an OTP, or say sending message saying, I have wrongly sent this to you, please send it back to me. Any such thing is possible. Another problem is senior citizens have a lot of financial assets, which makes them vulnerable also. If you don't have money, then it's different. But you have 10 lakhs in your savings bank account, you have 50 lakhs of fixed deposits, you have a couple of crores in mutual funds. It's visible to everybody. It's visible to your RM, who is constantly pitching something to you. What stops him from talking to somebody else and saying, take some money out of this man? Nothing will happen, right? So not being tech savvy, of course, is a big thing. Then another problem is trusting nature. You can't tell a senior, if somebody comes to the house and says, can I have a glass of water? It is impossible for the senior citizen to say, stand outside the door, shut the door, then bring the water. It does not happen. They've already allowed them in. They will give them, by the time they go to get them water, this person would have picked up something from the house. So these things do happen. Then, of course, emotional manipulation. They can use fear. I'm calling from the income tax, I'm calling from the customs and things like that. So those are other things. In India, Throwing authority is very simple, but throwing IRS in the US is also happening. So it's not that it is only in India that you can throw income tax, customs, excise, something at people, and people will fall for it. It happens internationally. What are the common types of scams which happen? So obviously, first is the financial scam, which is fake investment opportunities. Sir, this money is very safe. You are getting only 7% in the bank. This will give you 9.5% payable monthly, right? So 9.5 looks very attractive, because if you said 14%, they would say, no, this is some scam. But 9.5 is too attractive. The fraudsters know what sells, right? So fantastic opportunity, lottery scam. You have just got a lottery. Please send so much money for processing fees, right? You have to claim a prize, you have to make this payment, right? It's an impersonation scam, again, like I said, income tax officer, IRS agent, whatever, all those things. I'm from some hospital, I'm trying to do this for you. Then romance scams. This is for especially women in their late 30s. There is an online affair, then he says, oh, I've reached the airport, I need some money to come out, or things like that. I've got into trouble, can you send me 10,000, can you send me 30,000, can you send me 50,000? The unbelievable portion is people get alert only after they've sent 1.5 crores. They don't do it at the first 10,000, they don't care. Then slowly it adds up. Even after the third time, they don't realize that they are being taken for a ride, right? Because they want to believe that at the end of the phone there is somebody waiting to marry them, right? So then of course tech support, call up and say your laptop is hanging, or your laptop is frozen, you have this problem in Microsoft, you have illegally installed Microsoft, and so I can help you make it legal, you have to make this payment, etc. Or there is some computer virus which requires immediate fixing, right? So that kind of a thing. Then of course bogus charities and which solicit donations. You have no clue where they are using, or saying there is a operation today, there is this young girl who needs this, there is a young boy who needs this, kind of a thing, which are the charity scams. Then of course home repair, fraudulent contractors, they land up, they do a survey of the house, they say we will fix this and all that, and by the time they've just done the survey of the house for a future looting. So can this be prevented? Yes, of course, there is education and awareness. Educate seniors about common sense through community program, right? Tell them about just common sense scams, tell them that these things happen. For example, I have told my mother not to entertain any calls from unknown numbers. She does not pick up unknown numbers. Very rarely will she pick up an unknown number. Similarly, if somebody is asking for details, she'll say, who is this? So say it's a mutual fund or insurance. Say, I don't make investments. Talk to my son or talk to my daughter. Her logic is very simple. If it is HDFC, it will be son. If it is ICICI, it will be daughter. She needs 2 accounts, and so she has them. So speaking to them regularly and asking them and telling them if there is any such doubt, please call. There was one big check which was expected in my mom's account, and at about 7:30 in the evening there was a call from the bank. And my mom said, speak to this. And then she calls me and says, I don't know which bank operates at 7:30 p.m., which is a good alert sign. I mean, she's 88, so which is a good alert sign saying, okay, it's a good question to ask. She did not divulge any information, but it was a genuine call from the bank. So, and then I tell her that if they want any details, ask them to take it from me or ask them to come home and take it, right? So then teach them to recognize flags such as unsolicited calls, pressure to act quickly, or a request for personal information. She'll call me, or she call my sister and say, I got such and such a call from this bank. Right, then strengthen social connections. That's good for my mom, because she stays in a senior citizen home. She's a lot of people. So I do think they discuss this, but I'm not very sure. Community centers. My sister runs a community center where she teaches people how to use smartphones. Who teaches them? These are all 17, 18-year-old boys and girls who have a lot of time in their hand, and they come and do it free, right? So it's good for the parents, it's good for the senior granny, grandpa, and good for the grandkids to bond together and learn. In fact, many of the mothers of the volunteers come and say, how do you teach my son patience? At home he snaps, and here he's doing this session, and I saw him doing this session, he just doesn't snap. Well, it happens, both people benefit. Then of course the technology safeguard, install spam filter, caller ID, antivirus software, have a look at their phones and laptops regularly. Advise senior citizens not to share personal information online or over the phone unless they initiated the contact, and if it's a bank, walk up to the bank and do it. Financial protection, set up trusted contacts with banks to monitor unusual transactions, which happens, banks anyway do it. In case you have to use limit credit card, in case you have to use credit cards, give an add-on card and control the limits, right? If she wants to make a change, if your dad wants to make a change or mom wants to make a change, do it on that particular day. Encourage talking to a financial advisor, or if you can do that role yourself, that's great. Verify identities teach seniors to verify the identity of anyone requesting money, such as calling call from a known family member saying, please send me 5,000, please send me 10,000. My mom won't send. That's it. So just don't send. Doesn't matter. Call me and say I have to send, then I'll send. Warn against sending money via transfer, gift cards, etc. Be careful, right? Just be careful. Report suspicious activity. I do not know whether you need to go to the police, but at least tell your children about these things. Of course, the legal and community support is necessary. Encourage creating a power of attorney for your parents. Support legislation, right? Additional tips, of course, stay skeptical. Think of every unknown number. Talking about financial items is a potential fraud. Hang up, delete, right? Just don't engage with those people. I engage with them sometimes for having fun, but be very careful. If you're a senior citizen, you're very, very vulnerable. Regular check-ins. Family members should regularly review bank statements and credit card reports if they're using the credit card, or get a credit card rating done, right? Look for unauthorized activity. So thank you. If you want this session in Hindi or Tamil, please tell me. Thank you.